What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. We're going to talk about Montrezl Harrell. Now, this is one of the more interesting prospects in free agency just because a lot of people don't know where they stand with him. This is a guy that got Hustle of the Year and Six Man of the Year, averaged a career high 18 points, continued to improve, continued to get better, but was terrible defensively in the playoffs, particularly against the Nuggets. 6'7", 240, a good athlete for his size and for his position. Undersized at the power forward position right now. It's small forwards that's currently playing power forward that's taller and bigger and faster than Montrezl Harrell. Not only that, undersized center and undersized power forward, so it's tough to find a place for him. And looking at the numbers and looking at the situation that he was in, you look at him and you say, this is a guy that deserves a big payday, and a lot of people was feeling that way. The problem is, one, the cap. The cap went down this year, obviously, because of Corona. And that's going to hurt his pay regardless if he had a great off season. I mean, a great playoffs. It was still going to hurt his space a little bit because there's not too many teams that can give out those type of contracts that his numbers would indicate that he should get. But not only that, you look at the fact that there's not too many teams that really need a Montrezl Harrell, and anybody can do a top five list. I don't see five teams that can actually give him the money and give him a starting position and him be a big time contributor to their team. And even though I'm gonna cover free agency within the next videos, I feel like this is one of the toughest. Because do Montrezl Harrell bet on himself like a lot of other players do, like he did this season? Go into free agency, trust the work you put in, trust the process that you've been through. You know who you are, you know your game, you know what you bring to the table, and so do teams know that's trying to pick you up or trade for you. And it's unfortunate because the market dried up, cap dried up, and teams dried up as a lot of moves made in the draft or even throughout the season figured out what they wanted for center. And the best position to play Montrezl Harrell at is center. And a lot of teams are going bigger. That was a problem with Houston. They went smaller. They went micro. And they got ate up by the Lakers. So did a team like Miami that was playing Bam a lot at power forward and center. And Dwight Howard and them ate them up, especially in that zone that they was playing. And Montrez is a guy that isn't a great mid-range scorer, cannot stretch the floor to the three-point line, not a great free throw shooter. Even if he gets fouled, he's not a great free throw shooter. And he is a guy that he does do a lot of effort and energy, and that helps him eat. And it helps the team out because it gives them extra possessions. He do have a lot of matchup problems that if you commit the money and you give him that position that may warrant a starting position, he doesn't really fit any of these teams, and he doesn't really fit a team that will want to pay him and give him that opportunity anymore. So he's in a situation where he put in a lot of work, he did what he was supposed to do, and it might not pay off for him. And there's some guys within NBA history that went through the same thing. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. And now I really want to see is the Clippers going to prioritize bringing them back. They don't have Doc Rivers, a guy that wanted to give him the ball, wanted to play him, trusted him, continued to play him through his hard play. And the playoffs, he was struggling. He couldn't defend anybody, and Doc Rivers kept going with him and trusted him and empowered him and lived and died with that result for good or bad. I didn't think Montrezl Harrell was the biggest reason that they didn't go to the NBA Western Conference Finals or the Finals just because they was up 3-1 on the Nuggets. Even though they lost three straight, they still was one game, one quarter away from being in the Western Conference Finals. Now, he might have been terrible against Dwight and Anthony Davis and JaVale and those guys, but that's why you're supposed to be able to adjust to the matchup and try to find a way to have your best lineup out there at all times, and that falls on Doc Rivers, not on Montrezl Harrell. Montrezl Harrell is a guy that embodies what he is. He knows what he is, and he does that very well. It just, his game really doesn't deserve to pay just because a lot of the things he does, he gives back on the other side of the court, or his deficiencies hurt you offensively just because you're limited with him on the roster since he is undersized too. Not just because he's just a finisher and a guy that can hit some floaters, but he's limited just because he only can do certain things offensively on the court and he's undersized. So I look at him and I think he comes black. I think he does come back with the Clippers. I think that they can get him 7, 10 million, and that will be a steal for what he brought to the table, especially because the Clippers had a lot of guys in and out of the lineup, and he was one of them in the bubble and in the playoffs that was going through similar things. And then you also look at that he knows how the team is. He knows the players already because he played the whole entire season with them. He understands this some type of system because we don't know what Tyronn Lue is going to do with the team because he's going to have his own identity, his own style of play, and maybe he can find something better for Montrez, or maybe he wants to go in a different direction so that way they have more matchups for other teams because they still got a chance to get JaMychal Green, a guy that can space the floor and he knows his game and he knows his role, and he can get an even cheaper contract than a guy like Montrezl Harrell might even get, because you might be paying JaMychal 3 to 5 million instead of paying losing JaMychal and paying Montrez 10 to 15 million. So that's going to be something interesting of how the Clippers try to construct a roster, because obviously what they did this year was half-hearted. I feel like they was in and out, in and out, in and out, and that was one of the biggest things that people criticized the Clippers for. They wasn't all in this year. They just wasn't. They never could get on the same page. They never can get healthy. They never can get their best lineups out there for a long period of time, and it caught up with them in the playoffs, because even if they beat the Nuggets, it's not a guarantee that they beat the Lakers. It's not. They have a great chance, but that don't mean that they would have done it in a 7-game series. So if I'm Tyronn Lue, I want to observe everything that we can fix. I want to sit down with the GM and figure this out, because you have a chance to lose Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. And if you're going to lose them, you rather lose them with a ring. And if you're going to lose them without a ring, you in a situation where you have no real picks, you have no real future because all your young players are gone too. You stuck in the mud right now. And Tyronn Lue went through the same thing in Cleveland, and like I said in that video, he was fired. And his team got even less talent than that team because a lot of these guys can be gone within the next 1 to 2 years. So that put even more pressure on the Clippers to have a successful reason to give guys like Kawhi Leonard to want to resign. And he can resign for that 5th year because he already played a whole season and possibly two, which it looks like, with the Clippers. So they can offer him that 5th year to stay. And we know Steve Ballmer is willing to pay his players. And he's willing to pay a guy like Kawhi Leonard, who is one of the best players in the world. So Montrezl Harrell's in a tough situation, not because he's not a good player, not because he sucks, not even because of the bubble. He's in a tough situation because money is drying up, and there's not too many people that can pay him, and there's not too many people that can give him that starting position. And even if they do, how great can you excel in that role? And even if he put up decent numbers like he did this season and the season before, at the end of the day, what do that get you? Do that make you a better team? Do that make you a championship team? That's the question. What can Montrezl Harrell really do for you when it comes to paying them and giving them a better position? Can he take you over the top? That's the question. I don't see that, and he was a sore eye really to watch in the bubble. So if I'm Montrezl Harrell, you use the bubble as a learning lesson. You use it as something you can go back on and say, I got to go harder. I got to do a lot more. And if I want to win a title, if he stays with the Clippers or go to a different team, he has to, work on and iron out a little bit more of his weaknesses and just try to come back better like he did each and every season so far in his career. So I like him. I like what he's about. I like what he do. He just in a situation where not a good look for him right now. And even if he do a 1+1, sign a deal and opt out and try to get money next year, which the cap could go up and he might have a chance to go to a different team, and he's still going to get minutes and opportunity if he do stay with the Clippers or a different team, he can still have a decent season and possibly jump back in free agency, sign a longer deal, and get more money in the future. If I was Montrezl Harrell, I probably don't go for long term. I probably try to run it back with a team and try to opt out next year and try to cash in. And that's my advice to him. I don't think that he's going to make the Clippers dangerous. I don't think he's going to make another team dangerous either. But he is a guy that you value because he is a hard worker. He plays hard. He's respected around the league. So somebody going to pick him up if the Clippers don't want to bring him back. But you also want to, in Montrezl Harrell's best, perspective is, I want to give me another shot. I want to get another chance, and I want to prove it to myself that I can do this. And he did it throughout his whole career. So I can definitely see him trying to cash in next year when he might have opportunity to do that. But if somebody give him a 3-year deal, 4-year deal, I think he'll gladly take that. But the numbers are going to be significantly lower than what he wanted going into the bubble and the playoffs. So it happens. You know, we all go through our hardships. We all fail. We all go through situations where it sounds good and it looks good, but it can be fool's gold. And Montrezl Harrell is one of those players that ended up happening to. Wish him best luck. Hopefully he can, continue his career and continue to build upon the success that he has had throughout his career. And hopefully he gets something or close to what he wants in free agency and do best for him and his family and, come back even stronger next year. So keep your head up, keep doing your thing. We see you. You got a lot of respect and a lot of awards this year, and hopefully he can build upon that next year. So if I'm him, if they ain't talking that money or they not giving you the flexibility, be a little patient to get the deal that you want because you still are one of the better players in the league. You still are one of the impact players in the league for what the role and what you embody and what you're about. So don't let nobody con you out of that. So that's all I got to say. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com, link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com, link in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook. Thanks for everybody that likes on Facebook. Thanks for everybody that continues to like. Not only that, check out my older videos. I got over 1,000, almost 2,000 videos on my channel. If you like this video and you want to see more, feel free to check them out. And if you like those, subscribe. Also share. Sharing allows me to reach more people. The more people I reach, the bigger I can get. And thanks for the love and support that people that continue to like and share. I really do appreciate that. Also, I have breakdowns of players, legends, rookies, and even summer league breakdowns and summer league coverage, draft coverage for free agency, trade deadline, season previews, top 10 lists, and even playoff predictions. And if you love basketball, you can't get enough of, I got even something better for you. I make a video every day that's different and different styles and different topics to keep you going throughout your day, even on the weekend. 7 days a week. So you ain't gonna really find who me doing that and giving you quality every single day, but I got you covered. Other than that, enjoy your day. I'll be back with another video on Sunday. Can't wait. Basketball analysis, I'm going.